Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin exhibits an overall uptrend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently remains above 50, indicating bullish momentum, though occasionally approaching oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been fluctuating within the bands, suggesting volatility. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy combining trend following and mean reversion. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30, aiming to capitalize on potential rebounds. The support price of $71,900 acts as a key level to watch. Specifically, I recommend entering a long position at $73,600. The stop loss should be placed just below the support price at $71,900 to mitigate potential losses if the downtrend continues. The initial target price is set at $75,200, aligning with the first forecast price. If the price reaches this target, we will reassess the situation and consider extending the target to $75,600, based on the second forecast price. This strategy leverages the bullish trend while incorporating risk management through stop-loss orders and utilizes forecast data to define target prices. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum exhibits a generally upward trend, although with some volatility. The support price consistently remains around $2,090, while the resistance fluctuates but has recently been around $2,420. The RSI values indicate that Ethereum is neither consistently oversold nor overbought, with values generally ranging between 50 and 65. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper or lower bands. Given this analysis, I recommend a strategy focused on capitalizing on upward momentum while mitigating risk. My proposed strategy involves a combined approach utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 50 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, indicating a potential oversold condition. For example, if the price reaches $2,240 and the RSI is at 48, we enter a long position at $2,240. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $2,080 to protect against a potential downward reversal. The initial target price will be the recent resistance level of $2,420. If the price reaches $2,420, we will consider taking partial profits and adjusting the stop loss to break even. A secondary target price will be set at $2,450, representing a more ambitious gain. This strategy aims to capture upward price movements while incorporating risk management techniques to protect capital. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a generally upward trend with fluctuations. The RSI consistently remains within the 40 to 65 range, suggesting neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions for an extended period. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper or lower bands. Considering the support price of $1.36 and the forecast prices hovering around $1.41 to $1.38, a moderately bullish strategy is advisable. I recommend a long position entry at $1.38, placing a stop-loss order at $1.36, just below the support level, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price should be $1.45, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a reasonable profit margin. To refine the strategy and enhance returns, we can incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI drops below 30, indicating an oversold condition, a long entry at $1.38 with a stop loss at $1.36 and a target of $1.45 is still valid. Conversely, if the RSI surpasses 70, suggesting an overbought scenario, consider exiting the position or tightening the stop loss to $1.40 while maintaining a target of $1.45. This combined approach leverages both Bollinger Bands and RSI for dynamic risk management and optimized profit potential. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB demonstrates a slightly bullish trend, consolidating around the 615 support and testing the 643 resistance. The RSI fluctuates between 40 and 60, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy with a focus on short-term gains. The entry price will be $617, coinciding with a slight dip in the forecast and a position below the center of the Bollinger Bands. A stop loss will be placed at $612, just below the recent low and the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, to protect against a sudden downturn. The target price will be $636, aligning with the previous resistance level and providing a reasonable profit margin. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI drops below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at $607 with a stop loss at $602 and a target price of $623. Conversely, if the RSI rises above 70, indicating an overbought condition, we will consider a short position at $626 with a stop loss at $632 and a target price of $617. Combining these approaches, the portfolio will dynamically adjust based on market conditions, maximizing potential returns while minimizing risk. The primary long position at $617 remains the core strategy, with the RSI-driven trades acting as opportunistic adjustments. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana exhibits a generally upward trend, bouncing between the support price of $81.5 and the resistance price of $89. The RSI indicator fluctuates, occasionally dipping below 50, indicating potential oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show periods of contraction and expansion, suggesting increasing volatility. Considering this, I propose a combined strategy leveraging RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 45.0 and the price touches the support level of $81.5. The entry price will be $81.5. To manage risk, place a stop-loss order at $79, below the lower Bollinger Band. The initial target price will be the resistance level of $89. As the forecast indicates a stable price around $85.5, we can refine our strategy. If the price reaches the $89 target, we will take partial profits and move the stop-loss to the entry price of $81.5. This secures gains while allowing for further upside. If the price retraces towards the center of the Bollinger Bands, around $85, we will consider adding to our position. The revised target price will be $91, based on the upper Bollinger Band. This combined approach aims to maximize returns while mitigating risk, capitalizing on the upward trend and managing volatility. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a slight upward trend. The price has been hovering around the 0.324 support and 0.33 resistance levels. The RSI has generally been above 60, indicating that the asset is not oversold, but approaching overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands have been widening slightly, suggesting increasing volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 60 and the price touches the 0.324 support level. The entry price will be $0.324. To manage risk, we will set a stop-loss order at $0.318, just below the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. The initial target price will be $0.33, the resistance level. To maximize potential returns, we will implement a trailing stop-loss strategy. Once the price reaches $0.33, we will move the stop-loss to $0.324, securing a profit while allowing the trade to continue if the price moves higher. If the price continues to rise, we will adjust the stop-loss further to protect profits. If the price falls back to $0.318, the trade will be closed, limiting potential losses. Given the forecast data, the price is expected to remain around $0.328 to $0.329, which supports this strategy. This approach balances potential gains with risk management, aligning with a high returns investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a sideways trend with support around $0.0909 and resistance around $0.0995. The RSI fluctuates between 44.4 and 61.2, indicating neither strong bullish nor bearish momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been relatively stable, with the price oscillating within the bands. The forecast for the next week suggests a slight upward movement, but overall, the price is expected to remain within the $0.0929 to $0.0953 range. Considering these factors, a combined strategy incorporating RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels will be implemented. The primary strategy will be a range-bound trading approach. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 30 near the support price of $0.0909, specifically at $0.0909 plus $0. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.0906. The initial target price will be the mid-Bollinger Band level of $0.0934 plus $0. If the price reaches the target, we will reassess the situation. If the RSI approaches 80 near the resistance level of $0.0995, we will take profits at $0.0949 plus $0. A secondary strategy involves entering a short position when the RSI exceeds 70 near the resistance price of $0.0995, specifically at $0.0949 plus $0, with a stop loss at $0.0995 plus $0 and a target price at $0.093 plus $0. The most efficient portfolio will be a combination of these two strategies, prioritizing long positions due to the slight upward forecast. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a sideways trend with price fluctuating around the support price of $0.24 and the resistance price of $0.255. The RSI indicates that the asset is currently not significantly overbought or oversold, hovering around the 45 to 54 range. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering the forecast for the next week predicts a stable price around $0.247, with a slight downward trend towards $0.24, I recommend a cautious strategy focusing on short-term opportunities. My strategy is to implement a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands. I suggest entering a long position at $0.242 when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, indicating a potential oversold condition. Set a stop loss at $0.238, just below the lower band, to limit potential losses. The target price will be $0.25, aligning with the resistance level. This strategy aims to capitalize on short-term bounces from the support level and the lower Bollinger Band, while the stop loss ensures protection against further downside risk. This strategy will yield a high return with a low risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a slight downward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently fluctuates around the 40 mark, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the lower band, suggesting a potential for a short-term bounce. Considering these factors, I propose a moderately bullish strategy. We will enter a long position at $433, placing a stop loss at $425 to mitigate potential losses if the downward trend persists. The initial target price will be $441, aiming to capture a small profit from a potential bounce. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI crosses above 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it's a buy signal. If the RSI reaches 80 or the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, it's a sell signal. Therefore, if the forecast price on April 26, 2026, is $425 and the RSI is below 20, we will enter a long position at $425, with a stop loss at $418 and a target price of $438. This combined approach offers a balanced strategy, leveraging both momentum and volatility indicators for optimized returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink shows a mixed trend with periods of consolidation and minor upward movement. The support price consistently remains around $8.74, while the resistance fluctuates around $9.38. The RSI values generally hover between 48 and 59, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show price fluctuations within a range, with the recent narrowing suggesting potential volatility. Given this, I recommend a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. My strategy involves a combined approach. First, initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition. Considering the recent price action and forecast, I suggest entering a long position at $8.93 on April 26, 2026. Place a stop-loss order at $8.6, slightly below the support level, to mitigate potential losses. Set a target price at $9.61, aligning with the recent high of the Bollinger Bands. If the RSI reaches above 70, indicating an overbought condition, consider taking profits or reducing position size. This strategy aims to capitalize on short-term price fluctuations while managing risk through strategic stop-loss and target levels. Based on the historical data and forecast, Morpho exhibits an overall upward trend. The price has consistently tested the support level of $1.72 and approached the resistance level of $1.95. The forecast for the next week predicts a continued upward trajectory, with prices reaching $2. The RSI values fluctuate between 47.5 and 62.8, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show expansion, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. Considering these factors, I propose a long-term investment strategy focused on capitalizing on the upward trend. My recommended strategy is to enter a long position at $1.9, coinciding with the beginning of the forecast period. Given the recent price action and forecast, a stop-loss order should be placed at $1.72, just below the established support level, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price is set at $2.01, aiming to capture a significant portion of the forecasted upward movement. If the price reaches $2.01, consider taking partial profits and adjusting the stop-loss to protect gains. For a more aggressive approach, a secondary target price of $2 could be set, but this carries higher risk. This strategy combines technical indicators with support and resistance levels to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Injective shows an overall upward trend with price fluctuations. The support price consistently holding at $3.06 and the resistance at $3.4 indicates a trading range. The RSI values mostly remain between 43.5 and 65.4, suggesting neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been fluctuating, with the price occasionally touching the upper or lower bands. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. I suggest entering a long position at $3.18. The stop-loss should be set slightly below the support level at $3.05 to protect against potential downside risks. The initial target price should be set at the resistance level of $3.4. If the price reaches $3.4, consider moving the stop-loss to the entry price of $3.18 to secure profits and potentially ride further upward momentum. This strategy combines trend analysis, support and resistance levels, and risk management to maximize potential returns while minimizing losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, PAX Gold shows a fluctuating trend with support at 46.50 and resistance at 48.20. The RSI values indicate periods of both overbought and oversold conditions, but generally remain within a neutral range. Considering the forecast for the next week, which predicts a downward trend initially before stabilizing, I propose a cautious strategy focusing on short-term opportunities. We will implement a combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy. The entry price will be $4,720, coinciding with the initial forecast price and a slight dip from the recent high. A stop-loss will be set at $4,650, just below the established support level, to protect against unexpected downturns. The first target price will be $4,690, aligning with the forecast price for April 23, 2026. To further refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the upper band, which is $4,820, we will consider a short position with an entry price of $4,820, a stop-loss at $4,860, and a target price of $4,770. Conversely, if the price reaches the lower band, which is $4,590, we will consider a long position with an entry price of $4,590, a stop loss at $4,550, and a target price of $4,710. This combined approach allows us to capitalize on both overbought and oversold conditions while mitigating risk through strategically placed stop-loss orders. The overall portfolio will be 60% focused on the initial short strategy and 40% on the combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy, adjusting based on real-time market conditions. Based on the historical data and forecast, IOTA shows a slightly downward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI fluctuates between 40 and 53, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting decreasing volatility. The support price is consistently at $0.0549, while the resistance is at $0.06. Considering these factors, I propose a cautious strategy focusing on short-term price movements. My recommended strategy is a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, indicating a potential oversold condition. Entry price will be $0.055. Place a stop-loss order at $0.0544, just below the support level. The target price will be $0.059, aiming to capture a rebound towards the resistance level. If the RSI rises above 80 and the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, indicating an overbought condition, we will initiate a short position. Entry price will be $0.057. Place a stop-loss order at $0.06, just above the resistance level. The target price will be $0.0549, aiming to capture a decline towards the support level. This combined strategy aims to maximize returns by capitalizing on short-term volatility while minimizing risk with well-defined stop-loss orders. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chiliz shows a mixed trend with periods of consolidation and minor upward movement. The support price consistently holds at $0.0396, while the resistance fluctuates around $0.0429. The RSI indicates that the asset is generally within a neutral range, occasionally nearing overbought conditions but rarely entering oversold territory. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper or lower bands. Considering these factors, I recommend a combined strategy focusing on short-term opportunities with defined risk management. The primary strategy will be a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Entry price will be $0.0388, with a stop-loss placed just below the lower Bollinger Band at $0.037. The target price will be set at the resistance level of $0.0429. If the RSI rises above 70, indicating an overbought condition, and the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, we will initiate a short position. Entry price will be $0.04, with a stop-loss placed just above the upper Bollinger Band at $0.042. The target price will be set at the support level of $0.0396. This combined approach aims to capitalize on short-term price swings while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, JasmyCoin shows a slight upward trend. The price has been fluctuating within a range of $0.00504 to $0.00581, with support consistently around $0.00526. The RSI indicates that the asset is currently not severely oversold or overbought, hovering around 50. Considering the forecast for the next week, the price is expected to continue its upward trajectory, albeit modestly. I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.00563. A stop-loss order should be placed at $0.00526, right at the support level, to limit potential losses. A target price of $0.0058, aligning with the recent resistance level and the forecast, provides a reasonable profit margin. To refine this strategy, let's incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price has been oscillating around the middle band, occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. When the price approaches the lower Bollinger Band, around $0.00504, it suggests a potential buying opportunity, as it may indicate an oversold condition. Conversely, when the price nears the upper band, around $0.0058, it signals a potential selling opportunity, suggesting overbought conditions. Given the current price near the upper band and the slight upward trend, I'll prioritize the initial long position strategy. Therefore, the final portfolio will be a long position with an entry price of $0.00563, a stop-loss price of $0.00526, and a target price of $0.0058. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a slight upward trend. The price has been hovering around the 0.324 support and 0.33 resistance levels. The RSI has generally been above 60, indicating that the asset is not oversold, but approaching overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands have been widening slightly, suggesting increasing volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 60 and the price touches the 0.324 support level. The entry price will be $0.324. To manage risk, we will set a stop-loss order at $0.318, just below the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. The initial target price will be $0.33, the resistance level. To maximize potential returns, we will implement a trailing stop-loss strategy. Once the price reaches $0.33, we will move the stop-loss to $0.324, securing a profit while allowing the trade to continue if the price moves higher. If the price continues to rise, we will adjust the stop-loss further to protect profits. If the price falls back to $0.318, the trade will be closed, limiting potential losses. Given the forecast data, the price is expected to remain around $0.328 to $0.329, which supports this strategy. This approach balances potential gains with risk management, aligning with a high returns investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Falcon Finance shows a volatile trend with periods of both upward and downward movement. The RSI indicates oversold conditions on several days, particularly around April 12th and 13th, with values dipping below 50. The Bollinger Bands suggest that the price has been fluctuating within a defined range, occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. The forecast for the next week predicts a slight downward trend initially, followed by a potential upward movement towards $0.0802. Considering these factors, I recommend a combined strategy incorporating RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. My proposed strategy involves a long position entry at $0.0747, coinciding with the forecast price on April 23 and a lower Bollinger Band touch. A stop-loss order should be placed at $0.0722, just below the established support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price is set at $0.0802, aligning with the forecast peak. If the price reaches this target, consider moving the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.0747 to secure profits and potentially ride further upward momentum. This strategy aims to capitalize on the predicted upward movement while mitigating risk with strategically placed stop-loss orders. Based on the historical data and forecast, JUST shows a generally upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI values fluctuate, indicating both overbought and oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility. Considering these factors, a combined strategy utilizing RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels is recommended. We will initiate a long position when the price touches the support level of $0.0649 and the RSI falls below 20. The entry price will be $0.0649. A stop-loss order will be placed just below the support level at $0.064 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be the nearest resistance level of $0.0775, offering a potential gain of $0.0126. To further refine the strategy, we will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band and the RSI is below 20, we will enter a long position at $0.0649 with a stop-loss at $0.064. If the price reaches the upper band and the RSI is above 80, we will take partial profits at $0.073. The forecast data suggests a continued upward trend, with prices fluctuating between $0.0747 and $0.081. Therefore, a second target price can be set at $0.081, capitalizing on the predicted price increase. This combined strategy aims to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, DeXe exhibits a strong uptrend. The price has consistently moved above the Bollinger Band center, and the RSI values have frequently crossed above 70, indicating overbought conditions but persisting upward momentum. The forecast for the next week projects continued price increases, reaching $16.9. Therefore, a long position strategy is recommended. Specifically, I suggest entering a long position at $13.6. Place a stop-loss order at $13, just below the established support level, to mitigate potential losses if the trend reverses. The initial target price should be $16.9, aligning with the forecast high for the week. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. When the RSI dips below 30, consider a buy order. The Bollinger Bands will help us determine the potential volatility. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, consider increasing the target price to $17.4, the resistance level. If the RSI reaches 80 and the price is near the upper Bollinger Band, consider taking partial profits while maintaining a portion of the position for further gains. This blended approach combines trend following with momentum indicators for optimized returns and risk management.